Hi guys, and welcome back to my video, and today's going to be a quick and short video on baby shaken syndrome. If you've never heard of that term and you're a mom to be, or you already have kids, it's basically when you have a child and you shake them, and then it causes the brain to swell up, and it could lead, most of the time it leads to death because the brain swelling cannot be controlled and the infant or baby or toddler ends up dying. Sometimes the doctors have taken to the hospital and treated. The doctors are able to treat it and get the swelling under control. So I'm going to show you guys what baby shaken syndrome is and how often it actually occurs from the ones that are reported. Now we know that with all these cases, there's times where it happens and it's not reported and there's no way for us to know. So 1 in 4 children who are shaken dies from their injuries. Of babies who survive, approximately 80% suffer from some sort of permanent damage. It is estimated that 1,000 to 3,000 children in the United States are shaken each year. But it is likely that many cases go unreported or undiagnosed. Like I said earlier, not everybody and the way that baby shaken syndrome happens is in ways that I have my baby right here. Let me give you guys an example. My beautiful baby, she's 2 weeks old. I have been in postpartum for 2 weeks. This is my first baby, or my millionth, and she's having a hard time sleeping at night, which most babies do. I'm the only one taking care of her at nighttime, and now she's been crying for 3 hours straight and won't go to sleep. This happened to me personally with my first daughter. She would have a really hard time going down and was very, very fussy. She had reflex. She had really bad reflex, so she was only able to sleep like slightly adjusted, and I couldn't do that in the crib. So most of the time I was sleeping with her like this on the couch or on my bed or whatever the scenario may be. So I have my baby. The baby has been crying. It's been 3 hours, and let's say your husband works night for whatever reason, and your baby's just crying, or your husband is deep sound asleep and you're trying to murder him as well. I usually tell moms that I don't like when you let baby cry themselves to sleep in all those scenarios, but when you are flustered and frustrated to the point where you are going to harm the baby or harm yourself, first of all, always seek help. If your husband's sleeping, go and wake that man up and switch turns with that person. Or if you have a postpartum doula, if you have a sister, a mom-in-law, anybody that can help you during these times, schedule for them to come in at nighttime, because nighttimes are usually the hardest time and not the daytime. But if you have nobody else, I'd rather you go and put that baby in their crib or a rocker while you personally walk away and take a deep breather. Because if you do that, then the baby's not being harmed and you are taking a break and gathering yourself together and are able to compose yourself and are able to compose yourself and come back to the baby in a healthy manner, in a healthy way. Okay, sorry guys, I didn't want my daughter to be in the video, but she is in the background, so if you hear her, I apologize. I am a mom after all. Anyways, so I want to show you guys a little more information, and this is what it says. A serious brain injury results from forcefully shaking an infant or toddler. Now this is important because a lot of people think that it only happens on babies. It can happen to toddlers too, up to the age of 5. Shaking the baby in frustration, anger, often because the child won't stop crying. Permanent brain damage or death may result. Symptoms include irritability, difficult staying awake, seizures, abnormal breathing, poor eating, bruises, and vomiting. Treatment will vary depending on complication related to shaken baby syndrome. In rare instances, breathing support or surgery may be needed to stop the bleeding in the brain. So, usually when this happens, there's nothing really that they can do, because when the brain starts to swell up, there isn't really anything that any preventive medicine for this. Like either the brain stops swelling or the brain's gonna swell all the way up into the baby and start passing. Baby shaking syndrome can occur from as little as 5 seconds of shaking. So all it will take is 5 seconds of shaking. Shaken baby injuries most often occur in children younger than 2 years old, but may be seen in children up to 5. That's what I said earlier, that a lot of people think that it just only happens on babies, but it could happen. It occurs. That's my accent. I'm sorry. It occurs from infant all the way up to 2 more often, but it can happen all the way up until they are 5 years old. And that's whenever you see a father doing this, right, and catching their child, that freaks me out, because the head could do anything and it could cause baby shaking syndrome. So what I was saying is that they're not doing it with malicious intent. They're just playing with their kids, throwing them up in the air and catching them. But remember, babies, and especially like toddlers, they might their head might do certain things because they're not mature enough to fully have control over their full body. So that being said, be very careful what you let people do with your babies and what you yourself are doing. That's why I say knowledge is power, because this is something that is so preventable. But unfortunately, not everybody educates themselves before having a kid. That's just what it is. And I personally think that we should all educate ourselves before having a kid, because the more you know, the better you could be. The better parent, the more productive we could be, and the better kids we could raise. So, young infants should have their head supported at all times. That's what I was saying. That's why when you throw them and all that nonsense before they're 2, no, it's just like it's a risk that you should not be willing to take as a parent. Support at all times, and caregivers should avoid jostling them or throwing them in the air, but gentle bouncing, swinging, or rocking won't cause shaking baby syndrome. Okay, so doing this. Let me see if we get it. Doing this. Holding your baby like this. That's not gonna cause baby shaking syndrome. As long as you have the head supported at all times. That's why what freaks me out too is when I see newborn babies and the parents or the caregiver or the sister or whoever is just holding the baby like this with no head support, because their head could literally go boom boom and that's it. That would be traumatic enough for an infant. Now I'm talking about an infant less than a month old. That could be so like I was saying, that could be my iPad passed away. So that could be severe enough for an infant. Now obviously an older child, not so much. So that's why supporting your baby's head is so vital, and doing a lot of tummy time so they could strengthen those muscles and the core so that they can have full head support as they get older. The more you know, the better you are at this. And if you guys have any topics that you want to know more about, that you heard but it's very vague and you want more information on, please leave them in the comments below. If you're a mom to be, or know somebody that's going to be a parent soon, please subscribe. And hopefully the next time my daughter's not going to be in the background disrupting this video. But good job, baby. I see it. Beautiful. So have a blessed day, guys. Stay safe. Hit the like button and subscribe. See you next time.